You're listening to the Back Porch Talk podcast. Danny and Jason had many discussions and debates on the back porch while making pivotal investment moves with assets. That's right, with trading cards. They welcome you to the back porch and right into those discussions about current sports news with a fresh and unique twist. So come on and join us. Welcome to the Back Porch Talk podcast. I'm your coach Jason.
Coach Danny.
Fans, we got a full show for you today. First, we'll get into a little bit about the NFL preseason. The Milwaukee Brewers are making a statement. And we have an interesting trading card scenario, something we haven't done in a while. But first, Danny, right into NFL preseason, where second game of the preseason happened across the board, across the league. Just a couple of things to note. The Packers got mollywopped. The 27-2 against Denver Broncos on Sunday. I mean, it's preseason, but you would hope that your reserves really kind of make a statement, make a case for themselves, but then also put some points on the board. And this actually kind of makes me a little, not fearful, but a little concerned about what happens if some of our starters do go down. Do we have quality reserves in place? I don't know. Didn't like necessarily the 27-2 win by the Broncos. More so, I didn't like just 2 points there, but we are where we are. And I think the Packers are going to have to make some moves here. I can see them maybe making the quarterback, second, third quarterback string move here just to help this quarterback room. Not so much for Jordan Love, but for the others. What say you, Danny, about the NFL preseason?
Along those lines, Jason, my Falcons played the Ravens this week, and Taylor Heineke played most of the game. Penix did not play, and that was by coach's decision. They said they saw enough out of him not to play him, which I don't know if I think you should let him get some time, man. I know that they probably got spooked because we lost 2 players to injury in the first game on the defensive side of the ball, which led to them signing Justin Simmons at free safety, which I thought was a steal. And then also traded for Matthew Judon for a third-round pick, which shores up their defensive line. So those, I'm not sure 100% if they would have did that if those 2 players did not get hurt in the first week, but it does bolster up the defense. And then, too, man, a lot of hype around Caleb Williams, his performance this week. Bo Nix against your Packers had a really good game. Jaden Daniels from the Commanders looked good. A nice showing from the rookie quarterbacks. But like I said, I would like to see Penix get a couple series just to keep, building on it, because the NFL game's a bit faster. And I know it's the reserves, but at least get that time. So, it's the preseason, just waiting till the actual real show starts in September.
Danny, that'll be here before you know it, man. It's right around the corner. Just as we were talking about the NFL, when I think you'll note here, college football is actually going to be starting here this weekend. One game in particular that I want to highlight is that of the hbcu national champions, Florida A&M University, my beloved alma mater. We have finally indicated who's QB1, and that's none other than Daniel Richardson. Richardson is a transfer, a grad transfer from FAU, Florida Atlantic. He had stints at Michigan State as well. So I believe with some experience at that level, that propelled him to become QB1. My understanding, it was definitely a huge competition, very close competition. And so I think that's one to keep your eyes on, quite honestly, as the season moves forward. I think he can get pulled pretty quickly if things go downhill.
Got that short leash, huh, Jay?
Man, listen, I don't think it's gonna be two interception games.
Mm-hmm.
I think after that first interception, and if he's not playing well, if not seeing the field well, it's gonna be a quick pull. I
Yep.
mean, because you got the depth,
Mm-hmm.
you have the depth, and so this is gonna be real interesting as my Florida A&M Rattlers actually play Norfolk State this Saturday evening in Atlanta. And this is for the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And so they won the championship in Atlanta. They begin the season in Atlanta. Hopefully, we can end the season in Atlanta once again, raising the trophy yet again, man. But college football is here. What say you, Danny, about college football?
Your boys right down the street, Tallahassee, Florida State opens up in Atlanta at Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of action happening in Atlanta this weekend from a college football perspective, and excited to see what FAMU brings this year, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of changes, right? A lot of peak grads, students graduated, changes at the head coaching position. So very curious to see what that playbook looks like on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Hoping everything goes well for him and see what he can do. But no, it's exciting, man. The football's here, and the only bad part is that means winter's on its way.
Yeah. And just as we say that, man, it is starting to into a little closer to fall. And with that, you have none other than the Major League Baseball playoffs on the horizon here. And I have to say, man, the Milwaukee Brewers are making a statement, even without Christian Yelich, where Yelich has been out and he will be out for the rest of the season due to back surgery. But even so, the Milwaukee Brewers are balling.
Mm-hmm.
Over the past few series, and these are consecutive series. So just think of these teams that the Brewers had to play: the Braves, the Reds, the Dodgers, and the Guardians. These are some good teams.
Mm-hmm.
And in that stint, they went 10-3, increasing their division and lead. And so, man, this is all without Yelich, former MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Brewers may be on to something here. Now, just like we always say, regular season is cool, but we got to see what they do in the playoffs. Last year in the playoffs, they had that play in.
Yep.
They lost, took that L in terms of the series. So, come on, Brewers. I think we got something here. We got something here, man. What say you, Dan? Oh, and let me just say this, too. Just as the Brewers went 10-3 in that stint, they actually went up the ladder in the power rankings. And so Brewers are only behind the Yankees, Baltimore Orioles, and the Phillies. The Brewers are making a statement. We'll see how this goes. What say you, Danny?
Jason, big series this past weekend where they swept the Guardians, who, they're top of the American League, one of the top teams, and their pitching has been lights out. They had a rough start against the Dodgers those first two games, but since then they've won 5 in a row, and big series starts tonight in St. Louis. Man, they just picked it up, and like you said, with the news with Yelich, that is a big, huge blow to them, but at the same time, they played without him before. So it's just on the pitching, man. Devin Williams has been lights out. So if they can keep him where he's pitching the way he is and bring that into the playoffs, they're going to have a great chance. But it's going to be a new experience for a lot of these guys. So you just hope the lights don't get too bright for them once we get to end of September, early October. But keep it up. And like I said, win the series against the Cardinals and keep the momentum going into September.
Now, Danny, we have an interesting trading card scenario. Haven't done this a while. What we got?
So, Jason, tonight's trading card scenario is Jordan Love's 2020 Panini Prism rookie card for Caleb Williams' 2024 Panini Prism rookie card. Couple quick bios. Jordan Love was the 26th overall pick by the Green Bay Packers in the 2020 NFL draft out of Utah State. No major accolades yet. He just had his first year starting last year. Current stats, 35 touchdowns, 14 picks, and 4,700 yards passing. And then Caleb Williams, first overall pick out of USC by the Chicago Bears. And he is a rookie. So we've only seen him in preseason action. With all that being said, Jason, what do you want in your portfolio?
Dang, this was a pretty easy one for me, man. This was an easy one, man. Irregardless of where they've been placed in a draft or where they were drafted. Uh, I didn't know a whole lot about Jordan Love in college, quite frankly. Heard rumblings about him, but didn't really pay attention. Gets into the league with the Packers and, got some mop up duty here and there. I think Rodgers did get hurt, and so at one point in time, maybe a game or two, and we saw glimpses of Jordan Love. But then we saw last season, and let me just say, man, last season, you gave the stats of his overall career, but let's just look at last season where he threw for 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So the touchdown to interception ratio is spot on. And that's something that we are used to. And not only that, but 4,000 yards. But what was most impressive to me was the playoff game against Dallas, man. And did not see that coming. Just overall from Green Bay, I thought that they would be competitive, but not dominant.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were, obviously the youngest team in the league. They may be a little bit in over their heads, or they just didn't know any better. And so maybe they could get the Cowboys in a close game, or they probably lose in a close game. Not pure dominance like it was. And Jordan Love outplayed Dak Prescott. I mean, to a point where Jordan Love had a perfect rating. So he threw for 272 yards, 3 interceptions, and it wasn't at home. It was in Dallas, and where Dallas was favored to win. So just that alone, and here's the most impressive stat, Danny. Jordan Love just got a contract extension. 4 years, $220 million. That's an extension. So you're not just giving players money like that if you don't have any confidence in them. So Caleb, I'll have to say this: you were the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears. I mean, come on, man. The history with quarterback play in Chicago is horrid. Let's just be real. Hoping this is not the case for the young man. You ask me who I want my portfolio, I'm gonna take Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, it was up and down, right? But I think it picked up once Aaron Jones got healthy. I think that helped out a lot to get Jordan Love that confidence because A.J. Dillon wasn't it. And so once Aaron Jones got into the fold, got healthy, and they cleared him to play, that's where the Packers projected up as well as Jordan Love. And you also, I think of too, they took the 49ers to the brink of, almost eliminating them. So they had a great run.
Actually.
Yeah, they should have won.
They should have won that game.
Yeah, they fell short there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at Caleb Williams coming out of USC, a lot of hype with the Bears team. They have some talent around them. The receiving core is respectable. And the offensive line looks good. They made some key offseason acquisitions. So it's all set up for Caleb Williams to succeed. He is going to be a rookie. There's going to be a ton of pressure on him. They've been talking about Jordan and all these crazy comparisons, man. I'm like, man, let him just play. But he's taking the right steps, too, because he's aligned with, from a dietary perspective, aligned with Tom Brady and doing his mindset and all stuff. So all that being said, man, in my portfolio, I'm going to take Caleb Williams' card. And the reason I say this is I think he has a lot more fanfare right now, being the number one pick coming out of college. I think Jordan Love, even though he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, still doesn't have that fanfare yet, which you thought would be there after those wins last year, right?
Man.
So I look at this is me talking, but I think if Caleb Williams comes out and the Bears make the playoffs and they have a good showing, that car value is going to shoot up. That's what I'm looking at. Jordan Love has to get to that Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, where then I'll be like, I'll consider Jordan Love's card. So I'm going off just the hype machine right now with Caleb Williams and his car value. And like if Jordan Love and the Packers go, say, 14-3, and they go into playoffs and they do really well, and Caleb Williams falls flat on his face, that car going to the toilet. And that's where Jordan Love's would exceed Caleb Williams from that perspective. So I'm going to go Caleb Williams from the portfolio perspective. That's what I'm going with, Jay.
Thank you for joining us at Back Porch Talk Podcast. You can also join us on Twitter by tweeting us at @back_podcast. For more information, you can go to our website, which is backporchtalkpodcast.com. You can also email us at backporchtalkpodcast@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us, and remember that there's enough hate in the world, so go ahead and spread a little love.